Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 6 key signs that the fearful, avoidant, attachment style individual is rebounding with you in a relationship, aka you may be the fearful avoidance rebound. Now, before I tell you 6 of these key signs, keep in mind, like rebound relationships can work out. Rebound relationships are not necessarily positive or negative. What really does matter is like, is the person putting in the internal changes necessary to heal, to grow, to learn the lessons from the past relationship that weren't working, and really recognizing some of these points and being able to take accountability in relationships going forward. Some relationships, the rebound relationships end in marriage. But I'm specifically going to hone in here in this video on like some of the less healthy signs so that you can be aware of these different dynamics. If you are the fearful avoidant watching this video, you can also keep in mind like, hey, this might be me. And if you see that this is you, you may also want to reconsider like, hey, what are my boundaries around relationships? Am I taking time out for myself? Am I in a relationship where I still have stuff that I have to work through from my most recent relationship that I just got out of, where I'm now maybe focused on that person while still rebounding with somebody else? Just important things to like pay attention to. All of these things are very potential valuable pieces of feedback for anybody. So I will dive into them. So number one is you see the fearful avoidant talking about their ex a lot. This is a really important sign. If you are the fearful avoidant, if you're on the receiving end of a rebound relationship with a fearful avoidant, like this can be very valuable. And it's like, why is the person talking about their ex a lot? Sometimes it's just because that person was such an impression, like made such an impression on their life, and they spent so much time with this person for so long that they're kind of having to like redevelop their identity without their ex. And sometimes there's just like a comfort zone there and all those sorts of things. But it is something to pay attention to. If you're the fearful avoidant, you can ask, why am I talking about my ex so much? What's going on for me? What does that represent? What needs are unmet? What space do I need to create for new things in my life? Like, just like really dive into it. But if you are with somebody who's talking about their ex a lot, who's the fearful avoidant, it's also something to pay attention to and perhaps bring up and just question the person in a healthy way. Like, just, hey, I notice you still talk about your ex a lot. Have you taken the time necessary to figure out what you want to do next? Are you open to something more serious? Or are you just needing some time to sort of like explore and take it easy and have fun, and not really commit to anything too serious? And it is a call, if you're seeing that, to like open a dialogue with yourself if you're the fearful avoidant, or with the person if you're on the receiving end of this. Number two, this is where we see like more of the unhealthy patterns, is if there's a lot of bitterness, anger, resentment in the conversations about the ex. And I think these are two very separate things. Sometimes we'll see somebody talk about their ex a lot because they're just familiar with that person. Maybe they lived with them, maybe they spent a lot of time with them. But then we'll hear somebody saying negative things about their ex a lot, really honing in on it. And it's like, hey, there's some stuff there. Again, you can work through that well in a new relationship, but we have to work through it. Otherwise, the new relationship is going to usually suffer some of the pain of like those unresolved issues that get brought into our present and future, because that's just simply how the subconscious mind tends to work. Number three, and this is a really interesting sign, this is really applicable to fearful avoidance specifically. Fearful avoidants tend to, when they're rebounding, attach super quickly in some forms to somebody else, like get really comfortable really fast, be open really fast, kind of like expect things to move really fast when they're rebounding in certain forms, like spending a lot of time together or just being really open in conversation. However, there will be this like wall where the person's not being vulnerable. It's like they may be available with their time, but not their emotions. And this tends to be sort of like the pathway that fearful avoidants take when it comes to rebounding post previous breakup. And by the way, if you're a fearful avoidant, or if you're dating somebody who's fearful avoidant and you've recently come out of a relationship yourself, if you want like a really great resource that will help a lot support you and heal the pain and grieving we have, like when we go through a breakup, we have to ask ourselves, why do breakups hurt so much? And what's happening is there's specific subconscious voids that take place when we go through a breakup, unmet needs, trait variety that gets what's a part of the subconscious level, stories we start telling ourselves, one-sided perceptions we form about the relationship and ourselves. And there's actually things happening, like mechanics taking place at the subconscious level, that if you want to heal, so you can feel like you heal faster from a breakup and can focus more on your present, your future, all these different dynamics, and really address the subconscious reasons why breakups hurt, you can check out the How to Heal from a Breakup course for free for 7 days by clicking the link in the description box below. It's super valuable. You can go through it. There's a workbook, materials, all that stuff. It will really help you get a huge head start on like how long we have to grieve after a breakup takes place. So anyways, so you'll see a lot of the time here, like there will be like this availability in some forms, like the time availability, sometimes like the openness in certain ways, but with real vulnerable things, you'll still see this like feeling of guardedness. And again, a sign of rebounding. Our next one is a lot of focus and emphasis on the connection. If it's a fearful avoidant, will be like more physical, sometimes like physical touch, intimacy, sex, these sorts of things. But then again, like not really talking about like emotions and how you're feeling and what your plans are for the future and these sorts of things. You'll see that big wall up again there still. And again, just signs that this is potentially a rebound. You may also see that this person, if they're fearful, one kind of drops off the face of the earth, like is really available, but then sometimes goes missing for prolonged periods of time. This is sort of in fearful avoidance nature anyways. But you may see that this happens like a lot more than you're used to in a typical relationship when it's getting started in the dating stage. And again, just something important to pay attention to. And then very last but not least for this video, you may also see that the fearful one goes out a lot, like a lot more often. Usually they'll do a lot of stuff, not all fearful avoidance. Obviously we can have like some super introverted fearful avoidance or fearful avoidance who struggle with social anxiety, or there can be so many varieties of potentials that take place. But if you have somebody who tends to sort of lean towards being social, you will generally see like an uptick in their social participation. And sometimes it's like not with you if you're the rebound. Sometimes it's like to meet new people, or sometimes they even may talk about going on other dates, or things like this, or really want to discuss keeping that barrier for option open to be able to meet new people going forward. So these are important things to pay attention to. I will do an upcoming series about like what to do if you're rebounding, and how to position yourself if you're in a situation where it's like, hey, is my rebound healthy? How can I make my rebound relationship work? What are some of the pain points for each of the major attachment styles? So if you have questions about that, let me know in the comments below, and I can hopefully answer them in some of the videos. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.